Sourcing with Morgan, sourcing with Morgan, sourcing with Morgan. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video with your favorite reseller. Today we are sourcing Ollies using the Scoutify 2 app. All right. So first things first, I know there's going to be a lot of people who are like, well, why do I need to pay for a scanning app when there's a free Amazon app? Because Amazon at some point or another will go down and the app will not work. And if you want to continue to work, you need a third-party scanning app always as a backup. So that's my tip of the day. Yes, it happens. Does it happen often? No, but it will happen about 3 to 4 times a year. And when it happens, it's super annoying and inconvenient. So to prevent annoyance and inconvenience, get a third-party app like Scoutify 2 to help you through these things. Right now, I'm just walking you through Ollie's and some of the holiday candy, and then the grocery aisle. Ever since Amazon shut down like personal care and HBA, and then Walmart shortly followed, my favorite category to source at Ollie's is grocery. Um, a hot tip when you are looking at grocery items at Ollie's, though, always check the expiration first because you will get disappointed often. All right, so let's hop into some of the settings of Scoutify 2. I keep the great rank only ideal buy option on, so it immediately tells me when something is a good buy. You don't have to, but I do. Here are the rank thresholds. So this is for every category on Amazon, and it autos to top 10% for most, but there's a few different ones in there. I personally put majority of the categories that I sell in at top two and top one, just because putting it at top 10 has a really high rank. And I like to sell things, generally speaking, under 150,000 rank. Sometimes I go a little bit higher, but it just depends on what it is. So, like, you'll see for grocery, in order to get in that range, it's actually the top 10% instead of the one or two. So it really just depends on the category, how many items in a category, and so on and so forth. I will not bore you guys with changing every single category on here, but you can just see like where I put some things. Granted, I have not modified all of them. I'm just modifying the ones that I sell in so we can have an accurate depiction when we are scanning in store. Ideally, do this, at home, but I decided to do it in store. So, all right. Um, you see me changing, yeah, like sports and outdoors, you want a lower rank on those. But unfortunately, top 1% is still 274,000. So you really just have to keep an eye on the ranks. All right. The next one is Amazon restrictions. I want it to check for Amazon restrictions, which will then tell me if I can sell the items and what condition I can sell the items in. So I keep that on. My desired ROI, I personally keep my ROI at 50%. During some times of the season, I do increase it to 100, but right now it's 50. For the shipping rate, I do $1 per pound, and that's just because of Amazon's fees, like the placement fees, low inventory fees, to account for those things. And then my storage time, I keep at 3 months. I don't like anything to be in Amazon longer than 90 days or 3 months. You can also modify your suppliers. You can add different ones there. But let's go ahead and start scanning. I found what I thought were really good items that would be on Amazon, and it was like the first few items just were not on Amazon. This was a really good opportunity to use the search bar, but sometimes, I'm be honest with you, I'm a lazy reseller and I don't do that. When that starts to happen, I start scanning for Walmart, but today I'm trying to be focused and scan for Amazon only. So this one, you'll see the Nerds candy cane that it did come up. However, it was $3.99, which would be negative profit. So no money was to be made. This next one is they're like Hostess chocolate mini bells. And there is money to be made in these. This is a good test buy, and it's something that I've never seen before. So I'm gonna go ahead and put in the cost per unit, and then at the buy box price, you can see that there is some money to be made. And there's not a lot of sellers on this, so this actually could be a bolo potentially. Next, I scanned some popcorn that I thought was interesting. I had never seen it before, and it's on here, and I thought that it would be good, but when I go and put in the cost of goods, and I even increased the unit price to the highest, to the next highest FBM price, and there's just no money to be made there. It's negative profit. We'd have to increase it a couple dollars. So the next one was another popcorn that I also had never seen before. It's like Skinny Pop salt and pepper, and you can see a different options popped up on it. However, you see that red A with the line going through it. That means I cannot sell it. It is restricted on Amazon for me. However, I continue to look because I thought this would be a good example. This one looked good, but it's a case of 12. So once you do the math, it's 3.99 times 12. There's no profit to be made there. And then this next one, only Amazon's on there. So we move on to some other items. I've sold this before on Amazon, so I was really excited to see it again, and it was a 3-pack when I sold it. However, I can't sell it anymore, as you can see the red line going through. One. Two, I also checked Keepa, and the highest price was not in, it wasn't going to make any money even if I could. Again, another item not found. Womp womp. This one was giving me such a hard time, cowtails. I also used to sell these on Amazon, and I was very surprised to not see them on here. If I had to guess, they would probably be a bundle, but I was kind of in a rush this day and was like, all right, we're moving on. Now, this salsa I thought was interesting because I had never seen this one specifically in this brand. But again, there's no money to be made. I mean, it was 3.99. Amazon's on it for 3 something, and then the buy box is at 6.39. It just no money to be made. Next is this sriracha sauce. Now, a couple years ago, sriracha had a shortage and it was really, really big. And if you got on that wave, good for you. Unfortunately, I can't sell that brand and there was no money to be made. This Thai unsweetened coconut milk also I thought was interesting. I had never seen it before. Also cannot sell it. Also, no money to be made. It was a sad sourcing trip at Ollie's. I was scanning everything. This I thought was so cool. It was like the skinny girl salad dressing. I really thought that this would be something, and it is on Amazon, but Amazon's on the listing, and of course, there is no money to be made, and I can't sell it. Next are these Colombiana cookies. Colombiana was a really big brand at Ollie's this year, or at least at our Ollie's. Um, but Amazon's on the listing and I can't sell it. This one is a good one. So it is Reese's mini cups. I'm gonna go ahead and put in the price here. And you can see that there's a couple dollars to be made on it. There's not a lot of sellers on it. The only thing I will say on this is that it expires April 2026. So if you can move it within that time, great. If not, these caramel apple Tootsie Pops, I feel like are hit or miss. Sometimes they move really well, sometimes they don't. You can see it has a little bit higher of a rank, but honestly, even at the price that Ollie's was selling them at, it there's just no money to be made. These are a really good flip if you find them after Halloween clearance, but again, the price that Ollie's was selling them at, there's nothing. So if you click the clock at the bottom of the screen, you can see all of the history of the things that you searched or scanned, which I thought was really cool because I often will forget, especially if I don't enter the price. One thing I found at checkout on my way out that I didn't get to record was these Ghirardelli milk chocolate caramel waffle cone flavor. This was really good if you wait Amazon out and they didn't have that many at the time, and put it at the third party price. This was a good flip. I was very impressed by this. So I bought one and added to my buy list. Again, I only brought one to test buy, but on your buy list, you can go ahead and put in the expiration date, which can be super helpful to keep track of things that are expiring that you send in. Also, you could update your quantity, you can update the price if needed, and then you can put your supplier in there. I do all of these. I try to do all of these things. Sometimes I forget costs or whatever, but you can go back and add it in later. So I saved it to my buy list. The cool thing about buy list is that actually you can import it into your inventory lab when you are ready to ship, prep, and pack and order, and it makes your life so much easier. So when I click the cart, you can see my buy list here, and you can even see the archive buy list, so buy list that you've already dealt with, which again, and you can change the name of the buy list. I just kept mine as that because I'm lazy. Um, but I also added another thing in there, which was dial soap. So if you hit that arrow at the bottom, it'll change it from descending to ascending order. The next button, you can actually send your buy list to people. So if you have VAs or other employees, you can send it to them. The folder means to archive it, and then the delete obviously means to trash it. It also gives you a total item cost, which I thought was cool. So when you add all of your items there, you can see how much you've spent on your items as long as you obviously update your quantity and your cost. So yeah, I like honestly that's like the best feature about this app is literally the buy list and the fact that you can import it. It saves you so much time when you are going to prep and pack with Inventory Lab so you don't have to sit there and manually do it. Um I mean I guess technically you manually do it on your phone, but you save the time in the back end by doing it in the front end, if you know what I mean. Okay, also, I'm going to show you this example. So I went ahead and I typed in the Dial Lavender soap. I got this example because at Ollie's, they had these 3 packs of Dial Lavender soap that I had never seen before. They were like small ones. But you can see here that what happens when you type it, and then all of them are restricted. I cannot sell Dial brand. There's so many brands that got restricted and it's so sad. But if you see where it said the top, I think it was 2%, if you click that, you can actually see the rank. So you can switch back and forth between the rank. But yeah, hopefully that was helpful. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.